Floorheads, a unexpected, unplanned stream for a Friday night. I've been trying to figure out if I can do a solo journaling game as an actual play. And I've got some ideas. We'll see if my experiment works. I'm playing Thousand Year Old Vampire, one of the greatest of all time solo RPGs by Tim Hutchings. You should go by his website and grab it. It is phenomenal. I've already done the preliminary, so I've created my character. I'm going to kind of walk you through that character. The book does a wonderful job of kind of stepping you through and teaching you the mechanics of the game. And I'll try to do the same as we go. So there's 5 key traits that your character has. My character. I'm Thomas Leatherman, by the way. And I'm going to start with skills. So it steps me through creating skills. These skills are things that I can do or I'm capable of. And to start, I had to create 3 skills that tie to who I am. Maybe we should talk about who I am first. Let's do that first, because my first memory, and I'll get into memories in a second, is who am I? My name is Thomas Leatherman. I'm a cobbler who works the streets of 14th century London. I was born in 1310, and I'm 35 years old. The 3 skills I have, things that I can do or I'm capable of, all tied to before I'm turned, are leather craftsman, honest merchant, and thrifty saver. Another trait that I had to come up with are resources. These are things that I have as Thomas. I have my cobbler's cart, a hand cart that I carry through the muddy streets of 14th century London, a small one-room tenement in South London, and then my leather tool bag. I have memories. Now, this is a big part of the game. I am allowed 5 memories. Each of those memories can have up to 3 experiences in them. As I unlive, time passes. As I pick up new experiences, I'm going to run out of places to put them. I can't have more than 3 experiences per memory, and I could only have 5 memories, which means as time passes, I'm going to lose some memories. These are things that I'm going to have to forget. As I go through character creation to create Thomas, I had to ultimately end up with 5 memories. And within them, there's 1 experience. So the first one I titled Who I Am. I've already read that to you. The next one, memory I call my family. And the experience in that is that night I came home to find a note from Matilda. She left London with my son David for a better life with Lord Joseph Talbot. Then I'm going to do these out of order. I am a craftsman. I save my farthings and leave home when my mother dies. I begin to fix shoes on the streets of London. Another one called childhood. My father spends hours teaching me how to reform leather into fine shoes. And he gives me his bag of tools and sends me out to earn. And then the big experience, I put in a memory I call my mother, my maker. I'm in the throes of paid passion and tell my lover Isabella that I want to live long enough to destroy the life of the Lord who stole my family. She kills me. I wake hungry in her arms. Now let's talk about, I talked about resources. Let's talk about characters. These are 5 people that right now in 1335 are a part of my life. There's Matilda. She's my estranged wife. There's David, my teenage son. Joseph Talbot, a lord who lives north of London with my estranged wife and son. Isabel, the woman who runs the stew in Southwark A stew is what they would call a place of ill repute. Isabel is the one who made me. Now we go through a series of prompts. I'm going to stop brothel. Thank you, Amy. I'm going to start with number 1. And each prompt, you'll notice, has, and I might as well just bring it up. Each prompt has 3 different prompts, which means if I return back to a prompt, if I've already answered or acted off the first one, I'll go to the second one. And then if I get there a third time, I'll do it 3 times. Because after I'm finished with this prompt, I'm then going to roll a D10 and a D6. I'll subtract the value of the D6 from the D10 and either move forward, backwards, or stay where I am and just keep going until the game ends. And the game can end several different ways. It can end via a prompt. It can end if I run out of resources or experiences or memories. There's all kinds of things that could potentially end the game for me. So let's start with the first one. In your blood hunger, you destroy someone close to you. Kill a mortal character. Create a mortal if none are available. And take the skill Bloodthirsty. All right. So I'm going to start. I'm just going to add that skill Bloodthirsty. Now I need to go to my characters. And I need to kill one. And it was pretty specific. It said it needed to be somebody close to me. I think I know who it is. 1345. I've been turned for maybe a year now. It's taken me a year to get understanding what I am now. Isabella has helped. She's no longer my lover. I do see her now, even though she's younger than me. I see her as a mother. And I think I've realized that I have a power that balances the hunger and the violence that I have been inflicting on the streets of London for the past year. I think I decide I'm going to go north. I'm going to go north, and I'm going to go to where my wife and son are living with Lord Talbot. I walk in there, and Lord Talbot's not there, but Matilda is. And I think Matilda runs up to me. She's crying. She's sad. She says she's not happy. She says she's wanted to go. She's wanted to leave. She's wanted to come back here, back to London with me and my squalor. And she grabs me and she kisses me. And I'm still young. I still am bloodthirsty and overwhelmed. My emotions are mixed. And I bite her. So let's write the prompt. I go north to kill Lord Talbot, but end up killing my wife. Okay. Let's roll a D10 and a D6. Let's see where we go next. Okay, I rolled a 6 and a 5. That means we're going to go 1. So that takes me to prompt 2. Let's take a look at it. Horrified at your new nature, you withdraw from society. Where do you hide? How do you feed? Create a stationary resource which shelters you. Okay. Let's put it over in my journal. What am I going to do here? Definitely am horrified. I think I go to Scotland. I think I go to the hills of Scotland, and I live in the vast wilderness and hills of Scotland by myself. I try to stay away from people, feed off animals, game. I end up building a bit of a sod home, very simple thatched roof. And occasionally I'll travel as far as I can from my home and just sate my hunger. The animals only keep me for so long. I have to taste human. I have to taste mortal blood. So I think for about a year or two, I'm there. So let's put me at 1347. And I travel to Scotland and live in a small sod home. I live off animals until I can't sate myself, and then find a farmer or a street urchin, and I feed. So I need to create a stationary resource that shelters me. Let's go to resources and let's go ahead and create my Scottish sod home. All right. Let's see what I get next. All right, 10 minus 4, I'm going to go forward 2. So that's going to take me to 4. You are exposed and flee to a neighboring region. Lose any stationary resources. Check a skill. A mortal flees with me. What new name do you adopt among these strangers? Okay. We'll have that happen maybe a year or two later. I am running out of places to go. Villages are starting to talk about a monster that lives in the highlands, and I've noticed there's been some hunting parties that have come, and they've gotten too close. I leave my sod home and I head back south. I go back to find that Lord Talbot has already died. And he is bequeathed his manor to my son, David. And I show up, and David recognizes that I have not aged as much as I should have. He is, now in his 20s, and I visually only look, 10 or so years older than him. And he's also terrified. I don't know what I expected when I got there. But okay. I'm going to kidnap David. I think if I have time later, I can explain things to him, maybe even reveal to him who I really am, and explain to him what I did to his mother was awful, and it breaks me, but I still need a connection to who I was. So I take David with me, and I find a boat where I can work, maybe help with the sails, utilizing my skills as a craftsman. David doesn't he doesn't want to be there with me, but by the time I get him on the ship, I bring him in a trunk. And once we set sail, I let him out of the trunk, and I explained to him we're at sea now and we're heading to Spain. And he says he's going to tell everybody what I am and who I am and what I've done. And I just blurt out to him that I'm going to be killing people on this boat. And if he talks to anyone, I'll kill them first. I still don't tell him what I am. My new name is going to be Paul. I am Paul. I tell everyone on the ship to Spain that me and my brother David, we do favor each other, are going to find a new life. We're approaching, the 100 Years' War. 100 Years' War has already been happening, so Spain is, I think, my only option. I couldn't go to France. So let's check a skill. I think I need to use my leather craftsman to get away with this. So that skill is now gone. Okay, that's 4. Let's see what's next. -1. So we're going to go to 3 now. Let's see what it looks like. A loved one discovers your condition and works to help you. Create a resource which represents their assistance. Create a mortal character if none are available. I think this happens on the ship, so it's going to be the same year. 1348. It's obviously, I think it's David. I think he finds me feeding off some of the rats in the belly of this ship, and I tell him everything. I tell him why I couldn't take care of him and his mother ran to give him a better life, and was a lord of a manor. She succeeded, but it still broke me. I explained to him that I had turned to brothels and had fallen in love with a younger woman, Isabella, that ran the stew, and what she did to me and what she made me. And I try to explain it to him, not using words that Craig, might use. I try to explain to him that I don't age anymore, that I heal, except for the marks on my back that Isabella gave me. That's one of my marks. I didn't show it to you. And I tell him that I don't think I'm going to make it to Spain. just feeding off rats, and that I am going to need to kill somebody on the ship. And he can tell I'm getting frenzied. I'm getting desperate. So I think David offers his blood. He asks if I feed off of him, will he become one of me? And I tell him no. Isabella made it clear that I can take small amounts, and he will need time to recover, but he won't become one of me, and nor do I have to kill him. And I think the guilt and shame of what I did to Matilda makes me control myself just enough. So David finds out what I am on the ship. He lets me feed off him. Oh God, I'm going to make David a resource. Good God. Okay. So I have a new race. David's blood is now a new resource for me. All right. Let's roll and see where I go. I'm on 3 now. All right, 6 minus 2 is going to take me to 7. Let's see what 7 looks like. Your body manifests some trait related to the vampire that created you. How do you become more like them? Create a skill that reflects this. Oh, that's super interesting. I think, I'm sorry, what prompt was that? That was 7. And let's go one more year, 1349. I think we're gonna make it to Spain. After I've helped this fishing ship. What trait related to Isabella have I manifested from her? And how do I become more like them? Create a skill that reflects this. I think the connection I have with my son now, even though it is literally vampiric, I think I've picked up from her a twisted sense of the kindness that created me. Isabella was not a monster, or is not a monster. I assume she's still there. And she made me one of her so that I would live long enough to avenge and destroy Lord Talbot. And I think that I've learned that I don't have to be just a monster. And I'm going to pay back David, and build a life here in Spain for us. And I think hoping my revenge is going to be giving David what Matilda hoped to give him by leaving me. Boy, it says my body manifests this trait, though. It's pretty specific. It's not just a... let me think. I think I associate this kindness with her. That was 7. Let's roll. We're going to go up 2 to 9. Let's see what 9 looks like. You develop a system for feeding. What is it? What happens to those who die? Create a skill that reflects this. A system for feeding. It's going to take me, let's say, 5 years. So let's put me at 1354. I develop a system for feeding. Um, I think I find out almost by accident that I can feed off of someone who is diseased. They can have. I'm not even sure what type of diseases. Let's go to the Googles. Let's see what kind of diseases there were. Googles. There were numerous of them. All right, so the Black Plague is in play now. This is during the Black Plague, which is awful, but perfect for what I need. I think by mistake, I discover that I can feed off people suffering from the Black Plague. And it allows me to use some of my acquired kindness in a very twisted way, where I'm able to end them and still satisfy myself. So I learn that I can feed off of those with the Black Plague. Those that I kill, I feed off of, die with little suffering. And I need to create a skill that reflects this. So let's go to my skills and let's say I can smell disease. Okay. We're on 9. Okay, we're going to go to 13. We're adding 4. Generations of the same family serve you. This line starts from any living mortal character or from the descendants of a dead mortal character. What bizarre rituals do they tie to their servitude? Lose a resource and create a servitors of lineage resource. Oh boy. Yowza. Okay. So I gotta keep this is 13. Let's jump a couple generations. So let's go say 60 years. So let's go to 1414. As Paul, I've matching with my craftsmanship. I just keep getting better. I have time is not an issue. So, I end up becoming very good and a sought after craftsman. The problem is that over a 50-year period, I can't be Paul the cobbler who makes amazing shoes, who still looks, 36 years old. So in that time, I teach David. And eventually, as I can no longer be me, I end up giving my shop over to my son. He gets a family, a beautiful wife, and they have several children. David doesn't explain to his wife who I really am, obviously. Just somebody that is teaching him trade, a fellow tradesman. And at some point, I think his wife realizes after maybe 10 years that I'm not aging. David finally tells her and her oldest son who I really am. And I give them a very good life because they become the front, and I'm the craftsman that works in the back in the shops making these fine shoes that are becoming renowned all throughout Europe now. And after the eldest runs the shop, he passes it on to his oldest, say his oldest daughter. And each time it's passed on, my secret is revealed, and they serve me. So the generations of the same family as mine, David and his line, continue to serve me. They help keep me hidden, and in exchange, I fund a good life for them. And now I need to think about what bizarre rituals do they tie to their servitude. I would imagine after 2 or 3 generations, I would become somewhat mythical. Definitely unworldly. And what happens, and I don't know if I dissuade this, but I think what happens is there becomes a tie between my feeding, my killing, and prosperity, because they are tied together, aren't they? So what maybe starts with them helping me hide this turns into like almost a ritualistic killing. And I think feeding me becomes a sacrificial ritual. Tied to their prosperity. I'm going to lose a resort and create the servitors of lineage. Okay. So let's take a look at my resources. So I'm going to pick up servitors of lineage. I lose David's blood. I think I'm going to mark David's blood. I no longer feed off of David. David is feeble now. Okay. So that's where I am. I'm at 13. Let's see where I go next. I stay at 13. Let's go to the second prompt. Your servants are numerous. So I'm going to stay at 13. We'll figure out the date later. Let's look at the prompt. Your servants are numerous, enthusiastic, and sometimes useless. Create a skill based on a memory. This is a skill that you use to control them. Oh, wow. Okay. So let's go to my memories. Oh, I'm a craftsman. Okay, that's easy. God, it's crazy how this is still working. It's the beauty of just a good prompt-based game is that somehow the prompts always makes sense when you get there. It happens at For the Queen. It's happening here. Happens at Oh Captain, My Captain. Happened in the game that I played with Amy on stream. Kiss Me If You Can. It we were allowed to be creative, and somehow the prompts were still relevant. So let's have some more time pass, maybe a couple more generations. So let's add another 40 years to 1454. So the skill, based off of my memory, that I'm going to pick up, I think I'm going to pick up what am I going to pick up? I'm going to pick up Zealot Leader as a skill. I think after, I mean, God, I've been at this almost 100 years now, and that much time, I think, twists me. I start to think maybe this is what it is. This is reality. These blood rituals have a magic about them, and more people, not just the eldest, not just the one that carries on the shop, that on the prosperity. More people find me. I don't make the shoes anymore. I teach it, and my skills and craftsmanship, honed over 100 years, 150 years now, are passed along. So I now have quite a cult that's built around me in Spain. It's a guild. It's under the mask of a guild, a cobbler's guild, and I'm the center of it. And at the surface, it's we're just a cobbler's guild, but the reality is the underside of it is this is a zealot sacrificial cult built on blood sacrifices. So my small shop morphs into a blood cult that masks as a cobbler's guild. Okay. Let's keep going. We're at 13 still. Let's see where we go next. We're going to go back. We're going to go to 12. Let's take a look at 12. New laws or social mores make it harder for you to hide among the populace. How were you nearly caught and destroyed? Check a skill, create a skill, create a mortal criminal who assists you. Oh, interesting. Okay. So this is 12. Let's go another decade. 1464. And let's think for a second. New laws or social mores make it harder for you to hide among the populace. How are you nearly caught and destroyed? I think the guilds are becoming... I don't know. Let's take a quick look. Let's see if there were craftsmen guilds. All right, let's see what the Google say. All right, so it says, yeah, craftsmen's guilds were still a big part of the Spanish economy in 1460. So it won't be that. I can't say that guilds have kind of phased out. Let me think. How about this? I think maybe I think guilds become less closed and more public, more political maybe. And it's not just the great work that I do and that my guild does that allows this to have, to go. So it's harder for me to be the head of the guild and to hide the fact. And there's so many people in the cult, like my name is starting to spread. Let's talk. I think that covers that. How am I nearly caught and destroyed? I think there's a rival adjacent guild, maybe a leather craftsman guild or something that begins to infiltrate my fiefdom, my craftsman fiefdom. And rumors start to spread about me specifically. And they come one night and they find me. Maybe fresh off of feeding, and they see the horrors and realize what's happening, and I kill them. There's 10 of them, and I kill all of them. But one. And I keep Sebastian alive for a reason. I need him to go back to the Leatherworking Guild and make sure that this does not happen again. And I know that he's a mortal criminal. I somehow can smell on him and tell that he's a killer too. Yeah. And I explained to him that he can keep killing, and I can show him some of my secrets of how you can find future victims and cover your tracks and get away with this in exchange for pulling attention away from me. I think that's it. So, Sebastian, and everybody gets to see in full glory my great spelling. Sebastian and 9 others find my basement lair and see the horror of my existence. I kill all but him and take him as a apprentice in the art of finding, killing, and going unnoticed. All right. So I need to create Sebastian as a character. So let's go to characters. We're going to create Sebastian. Sebastian, the serial killer. I teach how to kill unnoticed. All right. That's at 12. We're going to go ahead 3. We're going to go to 15. Let's take a look at 15. While traveling, You come into conflict with another immortal. Gain a mark. Who are they? What trick do you play upon them? Create a new immortal character. I think soon after my incident with the Leatherman's Guild and maybe a few years of killing and teaching Sebastian, I think I'm going to leave Spain. I think Sebastian comes with me, and we start to head east. So let's set our year to maybe 1468. And I get into, let's see. What was Hungary called in 1468? It was Hungary, the Kingdom of Hungary. So I go to the Kingdom of Hungary with him. So I'm going to travel east. I go into the Kingdom of Hungary, and I've had no contact with Isabella. I've never encountered anybody like me. And mid-sized village, almost a small city. Sebastian and I settle down. Sebastian has become pretty prolific. I too, my appetites are not becoming less as time passes. They're getting more. I think he and I start convincing ourselves and each other that we're untouchable. And let me find a name for him. Istvan. Not knowing that there's more like me in this region of Europe, I'm leaving clues that others like me that know of what I am can see. And a man named Istvan visits me. And he confronts me. He tells me I'm sloppy, and that something he calls the family is not going to risk allowing me to continue doing what I do and potentially exposing them. And no, I changed my mind, looking at what trick do I play upon them. When Istvan comes to the house, no, that's not going to work. Let me think. He confronts me. Sebastian and I live in a nice part of this village. We've brought wealth with us, and he comes to my estate outside of the town, and he's arrogant, and he comes to end me. And I think the trick is that I have taught Sebastian how to harm me. I think I've told Sebastian that if I ever feel less than human to him, if I feel like, if he ever sees me losing my kindness, these skills that I've acquired of who I am. I've explained to him that I think the only way to end me is to behead me. And the surprise for Estevan is that when he comes to confront me in the shadows, I'm not alone. And Sebastian attacks him, begins, maybe even stakes him, gives me time to escape, which I do. I don't know if I know this as Paul, but I think he survives. He kills Sebastian, maybe. I don't know. But I don't know what happens because I leave. I'm not sure where I'm going to go, but I leave. So I am confronted by Istvan. But Sebastian attacks him and gives me time to escape. Okay, so I need to create my new immortal character here. So let's go to characters. Another, I don't know why it's bold. Another he's another vampire, which I did not know. There was. He tries to destroy me. Okay. So I'm on the run again. And I don't know if Istvan is alive or dead. I don't know if Sebastian is alive or dead. Let's roll and see what happens. I'm going to go ahead 7. This takes me to 22. Create a mortal character. You have shaped them from infancy to be exactly what you want. Lose a resource. Holy Christmas. Okay. That's 22. Now, one thing I'm wondering, am I doing this wrong? Am I supposed to be creating experiences every time? Hold 1 second for me, because I feel like I've been waiting for it to tell me to create experience. And now I'm wondering whether each of these is an experience. So let me just check. Passage of time. This game is about the grind of centuries. Your vampires will lose their memories in the passage of years and must pursue continuous reinvention. I think historical events. For generous guidance, consider the first 7 or 8 prompts your answer to be the first busy years after your character has become a vampire. Everyone they know is still alive. By contrast, their final experiences may... Okay. A series of prompts may interlate to tell a small story, only for something to interrupt the story. Take the opportunity to jump forward. All right, so let's go to answer the prompts in a way that feels natural. Never force things. Prompts will often combine to tell stories. Oh, let's see. Cede control of the game. All right, let's go to experiences. Experiences cover a particular event, but the amount of time represented by that event might vary dramatically, as an experience might describe a few seconds of impactful events. I think I'm supposed to be... Deke, I don't know if you're still watching, but... Oh, you don't think so? Do you think I'm doing it okay? Okay. All right. I'm going to trust you, Dika. Will it prompt, although prompts might ask several questions, an experience does not need to address all of them. In game terms, experience is a single sentence that describes the resolution. Oh, yeah. I'm supposed to be creating experiences as a resolution of prompts. Okay. Well, it's a good thing I'm documenting things. So let's go back. Oh boy. A little bit of rewind for Thomas/Paul. So let's take a quick look here. Oh boy, this is going to be ugly. I don't think that deserves an experience. That's definitely an experience of David finding out who I am. I'm going to put that under family. David discovers who I am and lets me feed. Okay. And then that's growing my hair. We're not going to do that. I learned that I could feed off those with the Black Plague. Those that I feed off die with little suffering. I think that's definitely an experience. So let's go back to my memories. I think that's going to go under who I am. All right. David and his line continue to serve me. They help keep me hidden in exchange for a fun, good life for them. Feeding me becomes a sacrificial ritual tied to their prosperity. That's going to be definitely an experience. Thank you, everybody watching, for being patient with me. I definitely missed this. I'm going to put that under who I am. Uh-oh. My small shop morphs into a blood cult that masks as a cobbler's guild. I don't know if I'm going to have a place to put that. I'm going to put that under I am a craftsman. How about that? Okay. Sebastian and 9 others find my basement lair and see the horror of my existence. I kill him and take him as an apprentice in the art of feeding and killing and to go unnoticed. That is definitely going to be an experience. Do I have a memory to put that experience in? I don't. So we are going to create a new memory. That new memory is going to be I lead a blood cult. Okay. And then the first experience under that is that I need to now get rid of a memory. I think I'm forgetting Matilda. I think I'm forgetting Matilda. And at this point, I think I've even forgotten David. So that's gone now. I don't remember them anymore. I'm going to put that under lost memories, my family. Okay. This is definitely an experience too. What just happened with Istvan. So I need to find a place for that. I'm going to put it here, but I'm going to change this memory to I am a killer and not I am a killer. I'm just going to call that memory I am a killer. Okay. All right. Let's go back to 22. Sorry about that, folks. Learn as we play, right? So let's go to 22. All right. Create a mortal character. You have shaped them from infancy to be exactly what you want. Lose a resource. Holy Christmas. More time has passed. Let's have 20 more years passed. 1488. Oh boy. I think I leave hungry. I continue east. I'm cheating here to get some names. I think I go to Russia, Western Russia. And I'm really lonely. I don't really remember. I don't really remember Thomas that much and who Thomas was before this life. This is well over 100 years now. And after the generations of the guild, when it morphed into the guild, it was no longer a family lineage that was in my life and serving me. It was now a cult. It was my own little weird religion almost. And so I think I lost sense of that lineage. That I have Sebastian for a period of time. And I fall in love with Sebastian. But I never fully trust him, nor does he fully trust me because of what we are. And I think after I leave Hungary and get to Western Russia, I experience a considerable amount of loneliness. I'm going to add another 10 years to this. Okay, I need a Russian name. Oh boy. Okay. Maria. I'm imagining me finding a farm as I'm traveling and I'm hungry. And I go to this small farmhouse, slaughter the husband and wife, the man and the woman of the home. And then I hear a baby crying in the second room of this little 2-room farmhouse. I don't know her name, so I call her Maria. But I'm sated. And I've never killed a child. So, but I know I can't leave her. So I take her with me because leaving her is the same as killing her right there. It'd be less cruel if I just killed her. So I take her and I raise her. The question is I have shaped Maria from infancy to be exactly what I want. What would I want Maria to be? I think I miss being worshipped. So I warp that poor child's mind over time in this twisted patriarchal way to not see me as a father or as family, but to see me as divine in the way that the cult used to, because I miss that so much. I found Maria and raised her to worship me. So let's first move that experience over to my memories. Okay, it's gonna have to be a new one. So I'm just gonna call it memory for now. Let's put it in there and decide what the heck it is. I found Maria and raised her to worship me. That's a memory of I am divine. Okay, so I've got too many now again. This is gonna be an easy one. I'm gonna get rid of any sense of my childhood. So we'll get rid of that. Which means I don't remember I don't remember anything of my old family. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm all right. Okay. Sorry for the bookkeeping. Okay. Let's see what's next for Maria and me. Ooh, that's a big jump. We're going to go to 30. Let's see what 30 is. Ooh, geez. Okay. What social mores have you forgotten? I found a typo. Lose a checked skill. Well, let's take a look. Let's have another 10 years pass. So 1508. Let's look at my skills and any of them are social norms. Oh, I lose kindness, don't I? I think I do. Ah, shit. I lose my sense of kindness. I don't like what I'm becoming. How about that? I lose my sense of kindness. I know what I am doing to Maria, and I know how selfish it is. That is definitely going to count as an experience. Where do I put it? I think I put it under I am a killer. Okay. All right. That's 30. Let's see what's next. I'm going to go up 2. So we're going to go to 32. Let's see what 32 gives us. Oh, God. Okay. You keep a prisoner. Why this particular person? Why don't you feed upon them? Create a character and a skill related to keeping them captive. Oh, boy. It's not Maria. The question is who would I take prisoner? And why don't I feed on them? Oh, that's a good point, Dika, about a diary. Yeah, I might have to move some of those lost memories to a diary when I'm done, but that's a good point. Um, all right, let's talk about when first. When did I find Maria? I found her in 1498. She was a baby. She was 10 years old here. I know what I'm doing to her. I know what she's becoming. I'm going to go another 10 years. Let's go 12 years. Let's go to 1520. This is going to suck. I think Maria escapes me. I think that the rebellion of teenage years, becoming a young adult, she begins to realize what I am and that I'm evil in her eyes, and she escapes me. And I think soon after, I'm obsessed and lonely, and I find another woman that reminds me of Maria. Okay, Maria escapes me in our time while in Russia, while raising her in Russia. I lose her and can't go a week without her companionship. I find a village girl that looks like her. I kidnap Maria. No, I kidnap Elena and take her prisoner in my manor. I don't feed on her because I hope she will come to worship me like Maria did. All right, so two things. One, let's quickly make that a memory. I'm going to put that under I am divine, and then I need to create Elena as a character. Elena is a prisoner. I hope she will worship me. Okay. All right, that's 32. Let's go. Seven. That's going to take me to 39. All right, let's see what frickin' Tim has before me at 39. Oh, see, here comes the diary, Dika. We're going to have to do a little bit of book work here. Age has damaged your diary. Strike out 3 nouns from the memories in your diary, starting from the oldest entry. If you have no diary, do this to the first 3 nouns in a memory of middling age. Okay. Let's assume that I've put that stuff in my diary. So let's go to my memories. And we're going to have this be my diary. And I put in there my family and my childhood. Let me just quickly look up the diary again. A diary can hold up to 4 of your vampire's memories. Unlike memories themselves, diaries or physical objects are added to your they're added to your resource list. You may freely create a diary whenever you need to move a memory into it. Like any other resource, a diary can be lost. When this happens, strike out the memories it held. Your vampire could have one diary at a time, and it must contain at least one memory. A memory placed in the diary is no longer the vampire's head. It exists only in a diary that the vampire accepts. Okay. To move a memory to your diary, simply indicate the memory is now written in the diary. For example, you might write diary next to the memory or connect it to the diary icon. Okay. When you create a diary, give it a short description and add it to the resource list. It must be something like this, diarist. Okay. All right. So let's do that. Let's do this. We're going to go to my resource list and we are going to create a diary. Oh, you can tell I did this. And it is going to be my collection of letters to myself. And what do we need to frickin' fit in there? Let's go back to memories. Let's grab all of this here. Let's go back to my resources. Okay. So my family of Matilda and David. My father teaching me to cobble. Matilda leaving me. And David discovering who I am. Okay, so I record all of that in my diary. So now let's go back to my prompt. Age has damaged your diary. Strike out 3 nouns from the memories in your diary, starting from the oldest entry. Okay. So let's do that. This is going to suck. My family of nobody. And my father. So now I have officially lost not only memories of Matilda, David, and my father, but the damage means I can't go back and I can't reread those things. That means I have no idea who they were or that they even existed because I don't know their names anymore. So even though I couldn't remember them, now I can't even have moments with my bundle of letters to myself saying, you know, don't forget Matilda, don't forget David, don't forget your father. Okay. Let's have that happen maybe another 20 years later. Let's put us at 1540. I don't think this is this is definitely an experience. What am I doing here? All right. I know what's happening, and I know what I'm going to get rid of now. I am losing myself is the memory I'm going to create to put this in. Let's go back to my prompt. Nothing more fun than watching me. Oh, I got to do this here. All right, so let's go to divider. Age takes the names of my wife, child, and father from my diary. So that's the event. Let's put it in my memory under law, under I'm losing myself. That means I need to get rid of this. And that cannot go into my diary. It goes to lost memories. That's gone now. I still have 5 memories. Okay. All right, so let's go back. I'm at 39. And let's see what's next. So we're going to go up 2 to 41. Your body is distant from human concerns. Lose a memory slot. Erase your oldest extant name. Oh my God. Okay. So I'm going to lose a memory slot completely. I lose I'm a craftsman. This whole thing goes. I've long forgotten being a leather worker and those skills. I'm now just a person with money that travels and kills. So that just goes. This is 41. I'll figure out in a second when it was. I forget, obviously, Thomas. I'm just Paul now. Let's add another decade, 1550. No, it's going to take longer than that. Let's add 50, 60 years. Let's go right to 1600. I lose the memory of the name Thomas, and I lose the craftsman Thomas was. Okay. All right, let me look at my little cheat sheet for the 1600s. Early telescopes and microscopes, scientific advancement by all figures like Galileo and Newton, social structure, rise of the scientific revolution, enlightenment, absolute monarchies flourished, major conflicts of the 30 Years' War, English Civil War, Pilgrims settled in America in 1620. Okay, that just gives me a little bit of context. All right. We are on 41. Let's see what's next. We're going to stay on 41. I don't know if I want to. Jeez. All right. Okay, let's bring it over. A social convention or taboo from some long forgotten part of your existence is hardwired into your being. What is it? How does this hinder your movement in society? Create a mark. Oh, God. A social convention or taboo from some long forgotten part of your existence. So I've got a lot of long forgotten part is hardwired into your being. I think I know what it is. I can no longer pass as mortal and as human. My ability to hold a conversation, be with mortals socially, is gone. I come off as more than just aloof. I almost appear mentally addled and non-responsive, not communicative. Oy, 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 oy. All right. So that's definitely an experience. I guess it goes under I'm losing myself. I think that definitely fits. Okay. We're about an hour and a half into this. I'm going to take a quick 10-minute break and then we're going to roll and see what's next. Sorry. So you can see at the top that I got rid of Thomas's name. I put Paul up there, Mikhailovich, and to kind of recap, I'm imagining myself here in the mid 17th century, early to mid 17th century, kind of living away from society. I've built a manor, a compound almost in Western Russia. I'm not part of society anymore. All I do is feed. I know that Elena's still with me. I'm not sure what's happening with Elena, but let's see if the next prompt gives me any ideas. We were on 41. Let's roll. Another big jump. We're going to go to 47. Let's see what Mr. Hutchings has in store for me now. The world has evolved in ways you can't comprehend, causing you to lose a good amount of wealth. Oh, geez. Okay. What happened? Check a skill, create a skill that will hopefully prevent this happening again. Lose a resource. Okay. The world has evolved in ways you can't comprehend, causing you to lose a good amount of wealth. What happened? Check a skill. Let's just take a quick look from a time perspective. Okay. All right. So I think this is the coming of the Enlightenment, right? Where I am, knowledge has passed me. I don't know if I understand all of these advancements of science and art and a new way of thinking, the death of superstition in its own way. I am not able to keep up. I no longer make shoes anymore. We've lost that. So I think I'm going to come back in, try to pull myself back into society again because I'm running out of money. My estate is decaying like I'm not. So let's do the first thing. Let's check a skill and create. Well, let's check a skill first. Let's take a look at my skills. I think I'm going to check honest merchant. That's gone. I no longer know how to participate in an economy anymore. Let's go back. Let's push this maybe to 1690. So like 70 years. Let's lose a resource. Maybe that'll help me. I've lost my servitors of lineage. I'm no longer worshipped anymore. Honestly, I'm looking at my other resources. These are all gone except I think maybe my leather tool bag. So even though I haven't been prompted to, those are gone. Let's go back to my prompt. Now I need to think about creating a skill that will hopefully prevent this from happening again. I'm going to go take the last. I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the last of my money. I'm going to sell my estate. I don't get much for it. I don't have a bank account or anything like that in any level of banking. So I take what little wealth I have left. I'm going to go back to London and realize that I can't just pass time. I have to participate. I have to relearn I have to relearn being a part of society again. And I think somehow I buy my way into Cambridge. And I'm going to go to school. And I'm going to learn and try to fold myself back into society. So I think that's it. I sell everything and force myself to return to London and roll at Cambridge and try to fold back into society. All right, so let's handle this as an experience first. It's going to have to be a new memory. I'm going to call this one I must grow with time. And the first experience is this decision. So now what skill am I going to pick up? I'm going to pick up passing as mortal. Okay. All right, so that was 47. Let's see what's next. We're going to go to 51. Let's see what 51 has in store for us. When you hunger too much, you become a hunting creature bereft of intellect. Lose a random experience from a memory somewhere in the middle of your memory list. Okay, so let's do that, and let's figure out what that means. So somewhere in the middle, so we're going to take I am divine. And it has to be random, so let's make it random. We're going to lose the second one. I'm going to lose Elena. So let's put that in context. I'm also going to mark her off as a character as well. I don't need to mark her off as a character. She's still a character. Let's go back to the prompt now. When you hunger too much, you become a hunting creature bereft of intellect. Lose a random experience from a memory somewhere in the middle of your memory list. I brought Elena. Jesus, how old would Elena be? Hold on. That's 1520. Oh, no. Elena's long gone. Oh, yeah. Elena was... Jesus, that was a long time ago. Okay, Elena's long gone. God. Okay. I forget companionship. Because it is impossible to have an equal or a companion because of who I am. I don't remember what it is like to have someone who knows me. So now let's go to my memories. Let's put this as an experience. That's going to be another one I'm losing myself. Now I've run out of that. Let's think about time. Let's just add another. Let's make it a clean 1700, another 10 years, which means that I've been studying at Cambridge for a good bit of time. I have folded back into society, but I can't. I might be able to function at a very surface social level, but I'm alone, completely alone. And I think I know that that can't change based on who I am. Okay, we're going to go ahead 3 to 54. I had music that I was going to play under me talking, and I forgot, and I just added it. So tell me if it's too loud or distracting. Your strange accent and old ways reveal you as an outsider, mocked and cheated at best, or halted at worst, or hated at worst. Smother these useless traits by converting an old memory to a new skill for blending in. So I don't lose a memory slot. But let's look at my memories. I'm going to lose a memory. I know what it is. I'm going to lose I am divine. I think I'm going to realize that I cannot function in society and stay hidden with this concept of me being divine and to be that I should be worshipped because I'm greater and better than all of them. And I was mocked and hated because of how I carried myself and my unwillingness to act like anyone is my equal in any way. So that's how I lose that memory. So I'm going to pick up a new skill. Let me think about what that new skill is. After seeing I cannot continue with divine arrogance, after learning about the world now, I begin to accept that even though I am immortal and above the people of this world, I must learn to be a part of the world. Okay, so now I'm going to have that happening not too far ahead, but I do need to create this as an experience. I'm going to put that under I must grow with time. All right, we're at 54. Let's see what happens to Paul now. I'm going to go to 60. Prompt 60. Let's see what it is. Check a skill to avoid arrest as a criminal. What happened? Who was arrested in your place? Create a mortal character if necessary. Okay. Let's take a look at my skills and let's see what skills I use to avoid arrest. What skill do I use to avoid arrest? I'm going to check Zealot Leader, but I'm going to have to get creative here. So let's go back. How do I am charged with murder, and I am tried. And the skills I had as a Zealot Leader and my learning at Cambridge allow me to talk myself out of the charge. And to frame somebody. Let's see, is there anybody on my character list that's even around anymore? I'm going to have to... Ooh, God. Can I somehow frame Istvan? No, I'm going to create a character. Martin is a fellow student at school. I talk the courts and police into seeing him as the killer, not me. Okay. Let's go back here to my prompt now. I think that's happening still at 1710. I don't think time has passed here. Okay. All right. I am caught, suspected, and tried for the murder of a graduate student at school. I frame Martin as the killer and am set free. So it's going to go to experiences now for my memories. Yeah. Do I start my fifth memory here? Do I put that as I must grow with time? I think I'm going to put that as I must grow with time, which means I'm done with that. Okay. All right. It's getting really tentative. Let's see. All right, we're going to go 3 more. We're going to go to 63. What is 63? How do you provide for your banal material needs? Record an experience about the time this went wrong. Check a skill. How do I provide for your banal material needs? How do I support myself, right? Record an experience about the time this went wrong. Check a skill. All right, maybe a skill will help me here. Let's look at my skills. I know. I'm checking smell disease. $17.15. I become a doctor. After years of study. I keep a practice in London and become known as a healer. Record an experience about the time this went wrong. All right, so let's look at my memories. I'm running out of spots. All right. How could have this gone wrong? I become a doctor in London. I'm able to support myself. But God, I don't know. How could this have gone wrong? Um, Word. Rumors start. You know, I'm in England. I spelled rumors the wrong, in the English way. Rumors spread that I am doing bizarre, maybe even occultish practices as part of my practice. I think I'm not, the way I talk about disease is still not completely based in science. I still sprinkle in my old ways. I think I'm shunned eventually from practicing licensed. I become unlicensed, and I can't. I'm no longer considered a my yeah, okay, so my old ways and my old ways lead to rumors and loss of my license. I now support myself practicing underground, serving those that are superstitious and doubt what is modern medicine. I become a bit of a quack. Which I know that would have to have a huge impact on my ability to support myself and to try to okay. Yeah. All right. So yeah, I'm no longer, for a brief period of time, I'm part of academic and society, and you know, things like bloodletting. I'm doing old ways medicine, not allowing that to pepper my diagnosis, preventing me from being considered serious. I'm losing the whole reason I came to London, which was to be able to fold back in. We're going to go to 67 now. What does 67 have in store for me? Oh, I just read the first line. This is not good. Okay. Language itself leaves you behind. People discuss concepts you cannot grasp until using tools you cannot understand. How is this problem dramatically made manifest? Create a character who will teach you a skill to help you offset this disadvantage. Things continue. Let's go ahead and advance us to maybe 1750. Things continue to move too fast. I can't keep up. I can't learn all of it fast enough. The ideas are so foreign. There are new worlds being discovered. New medicine, new science, new economies. Who's going to help me offset this? I'm going to create a character who will teach you a skill to help you offset this advantage. So I'm getting a character and a skill. Who would help me? Who do I meet as I continue to fall behind? I befriend a historian, an academic. Let me think. James loves hearing me give detailed accounts of my travels and time. In return, what does he do in return? What skill could I offset this disadvantage with? No, it's not an academic. I don't prefer. That's not what James is. I befriend a woodworker in London. James teaches me how to use my hands again, how to craft, how to be a craftsman. I begin making furniture that seems of a different time. think I become a craftsman again. So let's go ahead and that's going to be an experience. So let's put that in my memories. I gotta name this memory loss of being respected. This is gonna have to be new. So let's think about this. This is gonna have to be a new memory. I'll name it later. I become a craftsman. Will be the memory. I'm going to have to lose something. I'm going to lose every little bit about Isabella. That's gone. The question is can it fit in my diary? Let's go to my diary. Yeah. Isabella is the woman that made me. I'll put that in my collection of letters to myself. And I'm going to start making furniture to try to support myself. I go from incredibly wealthy and respected to living out in the country again and losing touch with society. I come back to London. And for a brief moment, I catch up and keep up, become a doctor, but then a quack. And I got to add him as a character. James teaches me a craft, teaches me to be a craftsman. Let me look at my memories. Like, he doesn't remind me how to become a craftsman. I don't remember being one. So this is like new for me. I'm sure that I'm skilled at it because I was at one point a craftsman, but I don't remember that anymore. I don't remember Thomas. Okay. We're at 67. We're going to go to 66. What is 66? God. Oi, oi, oi. Your knowledge is outmoded. Lose an unchecked skill, which is now useless. I was supposed to add a skill for this craftsman. Did I do that? I don't think I did. Woodworking. And that is what I'm going to check. That's gone. That means some more time is needed to have passed. Let's say that gives me 20 years, maybe. 1770. Nobody wants my old and dated furniture. I can't support myself anymore as a woodworker. I don't have skills that can support myself anymore. It's definitely an experience. So let's take a look. I'm going to put it under loss of being respected. I think it fits there. because this is now the second time it's happened to me since I've come back to London. Okay. Not looking good, Paul. Let's see what's next. We go from 66 to 70. Mortals are cruel and work in ways outside your understanding. How were you mocked or victimized? Why was your response ineffectual and costly? Check a skill. Let's go to my skills and see if that helps me know what to do here. I'm going to mark off Thrifty Saver. I'm going broke. I am broke. I have no home, no money. I live on the streets of London and survive by stealing and killing. All right, let's go to, whoops. Let's go to, it's definitely an experience. Let's go to memories. I'm going to start a new one because I know what's going to go away. Destitute. And this goes away. I'm going to lose any sense of being a craftsman. That is not going to go in my diary either. That is just going to be a lost memory. Okay. Let's see what happens to Paul. We're going to go to 69. I can hear you giggling. You bond with an ancient enemy character over your shared past, finding it something more comprehensible than this modern world. Check a skill. You become friends. Share a resource and gain a resource that is shared with you. Well, we know who that's going to be, don't we? Okay. Let's go look at my skills because I need to check one. I'm going to check Bloodthirsty. And hopefully we can see why. Time passing. Let's go another 10 years. I am on the streets. Let's take a look at resources real quick. What am I going to share with this person? My leather tool bag. I'll make that fit. I am on the streets. I am stealing. And I am killing. No, that is not what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to characters. Late one night, I am faced with Istvan. He's been in London for years and knew someone like him was killing in the dirty streets of the poorest parts of London. He found me. And remembered me. Instead of ending me, he takes me in because he is lonely. And he laments losing his quote-unquote family in the old world. So I'm forced, or no, I'm not forced. He and I bond on what we are. And he has a tenement here in London. He's not wealthy, but he's okay. He's been smart with his wealth. And I think, at least initially, we'll see what happens. All he asks is just to have somebody with him, a companion that he can just be himself. It's definitely going to be an experience. I'm going to change this to destitute and found. Istvan takes me in. And saves me from the streets. We're on 69. We're now going to go to 74. You are physically trapped in a place from which you will never be rescued. What do you think about for the first 1,000 years? The game is over. I think I'm with Estevan for 100 years. Over 100 years. The beginning of the 20th century. After 100 years of living with him, the only other one like me falls into complete bestial just into complete beast. He attacks me. Almost ends me. But instead doesn't let me die. Doesn't let me end. He buries me. Crippled. Broken. And I'm here. Unable to do anything but lie in pain and darkness. London continues to grow and advance, unaware that I lie I lay in darkness, in a coffin of steel, buried in the long forgotten catacombs under London. What do you think about for the first 1,000 years? I go insane. I go mad. Trying to remember if there was ever someone somewhere in some time that loved me. I don't know anyone. I lay in darkness, undying, alone, and unloved. I've got short credits, and I want to talk after, so stick around. That was really good. That was really good. Um, let's just talk about what Tim created here as a structure. Um, these storyteller games, which is this is kind of what this is, you know, in its own way. Um, I love them so much. I think I've said before that I think For the Queen is my favorite RPG of all time. And I've had a chance to play a lot more since. This is, again, just hammering home to me just how brilliant this type of game is when it's done really well. And I think it's really easy to see a game like For the Queen or Oh Captain, My Captain, or a book like this that has 80 prompts in it, and thinking, well, that's easy, right? I'll just come up with a bunch of prompts and, you know, and then let them play. But there's something else here in these designs when this is done so well. And I don't know exactly what it is. Good news is I've got Tim booked for the podcast. So Mr. Hutchings will be coming on the podcast, and I've got a lot to talk to him about because I need to figure this out. And I need to understand what this, like, how do you go from blank pages to creating a game like this, Tim, that just freaking works? I mean, I think there was like maybe 2 prompts I struggled with, but even when I struggled with them, I had resources to go to, right? Check this, go look at that, wipe this out. And I can use those to enhance the prompt and put them in the context of the story that that was unfolding in front of me. I'm going to play this again, and I'm not going to play it on the channel when I do it. I'm not saying I'll never play this again on the channel, but I think I want to play this game again, like over a series of maybe weeks, and really like buy a really nice leather journal and, you know, devote the last couple pages to it, to some of the mechanics, or even maybe, no, I'm going to do the mechanics of the memories and the slots and everything, on a separate paper in a separate place, and really devote maybe pages to every prompt, and really dive into this, because there was a lot of writing happening in my brain as I was piecing this all together, but I also know what it's like to journal, and maybe journaling this as something else, somebody else, not my own thoughts and stuff, but treating it like that. I mean, that's got to be powerful. This was powerful. Yeah, I got blindsided a little bit. Deserves all the hype. Deserves all the hype. And I could already tell how replayable it is. I mean, I never even got to the 20th century, right? What if I start this again in Victorian times or in a different region of the world? Or God, I could start it as a Aztec warrior, and then see what happens. I mean, there's got to be a tremendous amount of replayability here. DK, Amy, Brian, hey Kyle. Yeah, Kyle, I see you note that's how I played it. I think I'm going to have to go back and do this again. The way you did it and the way I'm thinking of. Really appreciate everybody watching. This was a very big experiment. I love the idea of solo gaming, and I want to share that. And I think hopefully watching me do it will let you try it, and you don't have to broadcast it like I did. Anyway, yeah, next week you can catch us playing Outgunned and some more traditional stuff. But I'm going to have to go, and I think I'm going to have to decompress for a little bit. This was really amazing.
Howdy friends, thank you for watching. All our content is archived and organized in playlists on the Third Floor Wars YouTube channel. Check it out. And if you could like, follow, subscribe, and even set your notifications to this channel on YouTube and Twitch, we'd appreciate it, and it'll make sure that you catch all of our content. I talk with creators, designers, and experts across the gaming landscape in every episode of our podcast, Tabletop Talk. Open up your favorite podcatcher and search for Tabletop Talk from Third Floor Wars. Support your creators. They make the content you love, and it's your support that makes it happen. If you want to help us, go to Third Floor Wars on patreon.com, and you can help us for as little as $1 a month. Thanks again. We'll see you next time. Take care.